Hey everyone, Cherokee Steve, Cheap Air Gunner channel. As I said in my last video, what I promised was another video, penetration testing wise, that would pit my Hatsan Carnivore, as you see back here on the table, 357 against my Avonix Rainstorm, also in 357. So instead of seeing what kind of different ammunition, although I'm probably going to make a change to that, different ammunition, what kind of penetration different ammunition will give me, I really mainly want to see the penetration between the two guns. I've heavily modified the Carnivore to get it to the power that it's at. Did machining, opening up transfer ports, opening up barrel ports, did valve work to increase the power on it. The Rainstorm is completely stock, other than external add-ons. I haven't done anything to the internals of the gun. So let's see what I get with each. That's it. Let's get to it. I'm going to try to show the same views downrange on the textbook I'm using. I'm probably going to use a couple different types of ammunition since I've got the book quartered off into 4 different sections. Now I have a special tool that I've made to single load Predator polymags into the Hatsan Carnivore. Now that doesn't work with the Rainstorm, so I do want to compare penetration between ammunition. I'm going to be using the JSB Diablo Exact pellets, 35 caliber pellets. I also want to see what I get with these H&N Grizzlies, which are really inaccurate, but penetration wise, let's just see what they can do. They're more of a slug. They do have somewhat of a hollow end at the skirt side. It doesn't really have a skirt though. That's why I consider it more of a slug. And as I mentioned, the Predator polymags. So let's get to it. So I just finished topping off. The Carnivore was not at its full pressure. I just topped it off with one of my carbon fiber tanks, and now we'll get to shooting one of the JSB pellets down in the upper left hand corner of the textbook I have set up. Predator polymag. Now I'm going to, that upper right hand corner was the Rainstorm. Again, little tool I made to single load Predator polymags into the Carnivore. Takes some work. It's been a while since I've done it, so that didn't help. But it's in there. It's loaded. Let's check it out. Predator polymag out of the Carnivore. I'll go down to the lower right-hand corner for that, underneath the Avonix Rainstorm shot. So what did that get us? Well, once again, I apologize. I didn't do the H&N Grizzly. Actually, if in a practical situation, if I was out and I was hunting, I wouldn't be using it anyway because it's just too inaccurate. It is the only thing I have that is really a slug in 357. That's what I was interested in. Unfortunately, after I took that third shot, which was the Predator Polymag with the Hatsan Carnivore, my rechargeable battery that powers the screen on my night vision hookup on the scope on the Carnivore, which also is usable in daytime, but the battery crapped out on me. So I got that plugged in. That's recharging. So maybe sometime in the future I could do a penetration test with the H&N Grizzly. But in the meantime, we did get 3 shots. I did get 3 shots downrange. Up here was the Hatsan Carnivore with the JSB 81.02 grain pellet. Over here was the Rainstorm, Avonex Rainstorm 2 with the same pellet, JSB 81.02 grain. Then down here, right there, was the Predator Polymag with the Carnivore. Now, they're very similar in weight. I've already put the Polymags away, but I know that it's very close in grain weight to the JSB pellets. But let's see, if that nylon tip or when we pull it out, what the lead actually looks like compared to the JSB pellets. That's what I'm interested in seeing. One thing I did want to mention was for the first 2 shots, I got an error reading from my chronograph for the third shot. So that was the Predator Polymag. I didn't get a reading off of that. But with the JSB pellets, I got 810 feet per second on a full fill from the Hatsan Carnivore. I got 835 feet per second from the Avonex Rainstorm. Again, if you go back and you look through my videos, I go into detail about how much work I did on the Carnivore to get it where it's at. It was way below that. It was nowhere near 810 feet per second with a JSB pellet. But completely stock without touching on the inside of it. And the internals are completely stock. That Avonex Rainstorm 2, got me a higher velocity. So just keep that in mind if you're out there and you're shopping. Again, I made my recommendation. You can go back and check out that video on the Hatsan Carnivore. But it is what it is. I've got it where I've got it, and I'm happy with it. So let's check out the penetration in the book instead of me talking so much. So this is about a 1,030-page book. Let's see, penetration-wise, deformation-wise, very interesting. Deformation-wise, I just pulled out the JSB pellet that came out of the Hatsan Carnivore. I haven't gone down to the page that it penetrated through, but it's got this 3-edged shape to it. Very much like what I got from the round ball out of my .45 caliber Hatsan Bully. Same shape. Splits off into 3 separate sides. Doesn't really give you at least in a book, in shooting pages, and through a hardcover. Doesn't give you that flat deformation that a slug gives you, but it does give very sharp edges, so that's going to really cut. Not going to provide a lot of shock, I would assume. Let's see, still got ripped pages here. Ripped page. Okay, I'm about at the end of the pages that ripped with the JSB Carnivore. Hatsan Carnivore with the JSB pellet. That penetrated through the hardcover and 389 pages. That's what it went through as far as the Hatsan Carnivore JSB 81.02 grain pellets. Now let's move over and see what that the Evonix Rainstorm 2 gave us with the exact same pellet. It did penetrate further. This was the JSB pellet shot out of the Evonix Rainstorm. I forgot to pull this out, but again, as you see, similar in shape. It's got that 3-edged shape to it. It does on the backside have some mushrooming, more mushrooming right in the middle than I got from the Hatsan Carnivore. So it's kind of gave me like something in between a mushrooming effect in that 3-pronged shape. I thought that was pretty cool as well. Again, all 3 of these are going to provide a lot of damage to whatever game is being hunted with either one of these rifles, the Hatsan Carnivore or the Evonix Rainstorm. 389 for the Hatsan Carnivore JSB. Still got ripped pages here, still somewhere in here it stopped ripping pages. Let's see. Ripped page, ripped page, ripped page. Right. Here. 483 pages. So that difference in velocity and the shooting characteristics themselves between the 2 guns, 483 pages. The exact same pellet, the JSB 81.02 grain, got through the book. That's this much. Shooting 835 feet per second. That was the difference, almost 100 pages worth between the 835 that the Evonix gave me and the 810 that the Hatsan Carnivore gave me. Exact same pellet. So that's interesting. I didn't expect it to be that much deeper, but it is. Now, the one thing I'm noticing is I've still got ripped pages from the Predator Polymag. So let's see what that got us penetration-wise. I really would like to pull that out as well. Oh my gosh, there it is. Does have a piece of the nylon tip embedded in it. I just pulled that out. This is more of a mushroom shape versus that triangular shape that's going to give you more of a cutting action, I would assume. You know, how comparable to pigs or small deers, anatomy-wise, versus a hardcover book. Definitely, the effect of the deformation is different between the Predator Polymag and those JSB pellets. This is more of a compressed, mushroomed shape. Very interesting, I think. I would assume that's going to give you a much better shock quality. Damage-wise, I couldn't really say which would be better. That sharp-edged triangular shaped or the mushroom shaped. But they're definitely very different from each other. As far as the page penetration, that's not ripped. That is. So 533 pages. 533 pages from the Predator Polymag. The penetration was the best with the Predator Polymag. I'm also pleasantly pleased with seeing that. Pleasantly pleased. That's pretty redundant. But I am happy that, you know, I know what it can do, and gives superior penetration to the pellets, but still, again, and a mushroomed type shape to it. Regardless of what I go with, it's going to cause some damage, that's for sure. JSB. Predator Polymag. So I hope you found this interesting. I know I did. It's pretty cool to see how the pellets react to being shot through something firm, and what can give you the best penetration. I'm going to look up the exact weight of those Predator Polymags. It may even be slightly lighter than the JSB pellets. The Polymags are 81.01 grain, so almost exactly the same. Itself and that nylon tip, that hollowed out, instead of a dome shape. Once that tip is gone and does its penetration job, it's really basically a hollow tipped pellet. So between the nylon tip itself and the shape of the pellet, it seems to give superior penetration to the JSB pellet. But they both shoot extremely accurately. So that's the main thing when shooting at anything, is how accurate your ammo is. So hope you found this interesting. I certainly did. And I look forward to doing the next video. Thanks for checking this one out. You guys stay safe and shoot safe, okay? Take care.